Welcome back to the ZeniGundam realm YouTube. I'm getting a little tongue-tied there, it's hard to say. I'm going to enlighten you with a reading from one of my favorite childhood novels, The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I haven't read this in a while, but I picked up the Norton Critical Edition. This will be quick. Having trouble getting there. The Time Traveler, for so it will be convenient to speak of him, was expounding a recondite matter to us. His grey eyes shone and twinkled, and his usually pale face was flushed and animated. The fire burnt brightly, and the soft radiance of the incandescent lights and the lilies of silver caught the bubbles that flashed and passed in our glasses. Our chairs, being his patents, embraced and caressed us, rather than submitted to be sat upon, and there was that luxurious after-dinner atmosphere, when thought runs gracefully free of the trammels of precision. And he put it to us in this way, marking the points with a lean forefinger, as we sat and lazily admired his earnestness over this new paradox, as we thought it, and his fecundity. Great novel, one of the best works of science fiction, and a classic from the late 19th century. If you haven't read it or if you haven't picked it up in a while, I definitely recommend reading it again, or reading it for the first time. Now then, let's talk about some things. Okay, Cupid. Yeah, I've been going through a drought recently, and I miss the old days when you could just mass message girls constantly. You didn't need to get replies from them in order to keep messaging them. And, you know, feminism is at its peak now, or at least it was a few years back when they made that change to their website, and it sucks. And these capricious women are getting away with everything nowadays. God forbid you confront them on their bullshit. Speaking of which, I had a restraining order a while back. I won the court case, but if we go back to, it really started in late 2013, but the legal matters took place in early 2014. I went on a couple of dates with this girl from OkCupid, picked her up at her apartment, and we had nice expensive dinners, and then of course, after the third date, she just started ghosting me, and I wasn't really having it, so I showed up at her apartment and eventually her place of employment, and she made it a litigious matter, and I couldn't believe she really had the audacity to do that. But when it came to court, she was quite shaky, and I was on my game. I won the case, and hopefully she learned her lesson. Now, from now on, if you do some bullshit behind my back, like start going out with other men or just decide to blow me off, you better have an explanation. Lucy, you have some explaining to do. Is that how it goes? No. Why didn't I play in the World Series of Poker main event back in June or July? It's a funny story. Actually, I played in a poker tournament a couple days before on, I think, BetMGM. It was a multi-hundred entrance tournament. I think there were about 900 entrants, and I finished third. I should have actually won the tournament. I was dealt pocket aces. The person who ended up nearly busting me, I had him covered, but he put me in a really bad position after this hand had ace-8 suited, and he caught a straight. He had caught a favorable flop first of all, and then he caught a straight on the turn, and I've had that happen before, but it really sucked because I would have been in a commanding position had I won that hand, and I certainly would have won the tournament, and it made the difference in terms of winnings. It cost me a few thousand winnings, but it's fine. I've had that happen before, and I was playing for 7 hours straight just to finish third, and I don't like to finish third. I like to win, even though when I entered that tournament, I set out thinking I'd win it, even though there were like 900 entrants. So this year's World Series of Poker main event had over 8,000 entrants, and it was difficult just reaching the final table of that online tournament. I could have easily gone to Vegas and played in it, but I had other things going on. Next year I'll go. And the guy who won it, he was pretty good, but the rest of the final table, I saw some online footage of it. They sucked. The guy who lost in the final hand, he fucking sucked. I don't know how you, that's when you know variance is at play, because someone like that normally wouldn't make it that far. A real dearth of skill. Yeah, so that's what went on there. And Donald Trump, and I read about how the FBI raided his mansion, or one of his mansions, and it made me think of that incident a few years back, and for people who have been subscribed to this channel for a while, you know which incident I'm referring to. I think the FBI learned their lesson. When they came over here, I opened the door, and I told you the whole story, but some people might be new to this. They came with their ankle guns, I'm sure, and right at the door, I allowed them to come in, but I said, listen, make this fast, because I'm busy today. I know my legal rights. You don't have any right to really be here, but I'm allowing you to enter. But don't fuck with me, because this is going to get very ugly very quickly, if you do. And Yeah, if you call them up, they might give a different account. They might say that I was shaky and apologetic, but that's far from the truth. I punked them. Told them, listen, don't show up at my job, because I'll lose my job right then and there. It means throwing hands with you. And I think they knew what time it was. Yeah, so know your rights, stand your ground. Everyone has body cam nowadays, so don't be afraid if they come armed. And again, a lot of suspicious business has been going on with law enforcement officials, so do be careful there. Unless you're an alpha male, I don't recommend getting confrontational or taking an aggressive and indignant stance against them. But if you happen to be an alpha male, definitely flex. Yeah, so I forget what the particulars were of Trump's case. Actually, I really gave it a cursory read, the article that I read from CNN, I believe, or maybe it was MSN.com. But it made national headlines, so it brought back those recent memories of the FBI visit. Some people have been thinking that my channel should be used to, it should have more of a direction. Right now it has this, it's kind of desultory in nature, so I should really consider being a social influencer, but I think I already am, actually. I feel that a lot of you understand my ideals just by watching, and I think my actions speak for themselves.